Okay.
CBD, Miss G. Try that.
No. Hi, everyone. My name is Georgia Chuen. I work for Attorney Vincent Davis, and I have my Stacey here with me today, and I also have a very special guest. His name is Kevin, and I'm gonna leave the floor for Stacey and Kevin right now, and I'm gonna deal with my 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 situation here, my gums. But anyways, Kevin. Stacy told me a lot about what's going on with your sister, and Stacy was court watching today. Am I right, Stacy? Yep. And
Yeah,
please tell us what's happening, and if I may give you the floor, Stacy, please explain what happened in court, and then Kevin can, you know, fill in the gap.
sure. So Katie Rayford's case is a very significant case, pretty high profile for where we live in Niagara County, New York.
Mhm.
And at one point in time, I believe, while she had custody, she fled to New Mexico to protect her children from abuse. And she was there for 5 years raising her children and then was brought back to Niagara County by marshals and I believe the Niagara County Sheriff's Office. And so she's been battling with um, some charges, and it's really unclear what her charges are, or if there's even charges, or if there's a if the accusatory instruments are even facially sufficient. And then there's this: was there even ever an arraignment? And was there ever exchange of discovery?
Mhm.
And are we past the 90 days for the time bar for a speedy trial? And so Katie was appearing on these issues today, but also prior to her coming in for the case, the court was previously in another location, another venue, and apparently there was a motion filed to change the venue, but Katie was saying in court that she was never properly served with the motion and never had a chance to respond, and yet the venue got changed anyway. So then there's a question, I guess, of jurisdiction, because if she didn't have a chance to respond to the motion, I'm not even sure if the judge on the case should have been presiding today. So as court watchers, these were this was the information that was going on as we were watching. And then there was this other problem to the case where Katie brought in a letter from the bond company from her bail bond, and apparently there's a letter that says that it's a fake. So that was brought up in court today too. So it's so many moving pieces to her case, so many things going on. And at the end of the case today, as Katie was arguing that the judge does not have jurisdiction due to crimes, due to this apparent crime of offering a false instrument with the bail bond, and due to um, Katie not even having a chance to respond to the motion, Katie was saying, Judge, you don't have jurisdiction. Judge, you don't have jurisdiction. We can't continue. But instead, the judge arrested her and put her in contempt. So they tried kicking us out as court watchers before the arrest, I'm sure because the judge didn't want all of us to see what she was doing. And we all stayed in our seats and asserted our First Amendment right to access to the courts and court watch. And she even instructed the cops to remove us, but we stayed in our seats and the cop didn't remove us. And the judge gave up on trying to tell us to leave. So we were there and we saw the entire thing take place. There were more cop cars there. There was the Middleport, New York police. There was the Niagara County Sheriff's Office. There was the New York State Troopers there. There were so many officers in the courtroom for this uh, this woman that's just trying to argue jurisdiction and not wanting the court to proceed because that would be implied consent that she was okay with the jurisdiction if she let the court continue. So um, so unfortunately, uh, the judge did put Katie in a judicial contempt, and made her sent her to jail for 10 days. And also, she arrested Katie's sister for disorderly conduct. So, um, everyone's pretty outraged about this. There are not many people that are in support of what the judge did. They put Katie's picture up on the mugshot page, and everyone seems to be in outrage, not in support of the judge's decision.
Wow. That that judge should be literally removed from his bench, completely removed.
It's
There
worse,
was
Miss G.
this
It's a
judge
woman.
reminds me. This judge reminds me of. It's a woman, no wonder. Women judges sucks. They are the most hyenas in the world. Um, that's the best way I can put it. They're hyenas. Women judges are the worst. They lack common sense. They have so much power wearing that robe. They I don't know what it is when a woman wears that black robe, she becomes a complete moron. And I'm being honest.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, that's what we saw today.
yeah, complete moron. Just you mentioning that she's a woman, it's a woman. I'm sorry, I'm a woman too, and I don't have a problem saying that. I mean, women are not designed for this. Yes, Denise, she's laughing. Martinez, I'm right. I'm right. Women, even women with women, even women retaliate against the other woman. Even though the other woman is just in the same shoes as her, but women retaliate against each other. Not all women, because Stacey, you and I, thank God, because we both know God. You just have to have God in your heart, I guess, to understand the devil's tricks, to understand what's happening around you. But that's how women are. And
And
yeah, go
and
ahead.
Katie hasn't seen her children in a very extended period of time, and they are in custody with their alleged abuser.
And here we go again with the alleged abusers. We all know that the courts always gives the children to the abuser. 100% of the time, especially if the children are with good family, good mom, outstanding, background, doesn't matter. The abuser will always get custody of the children. When a father loses custody of his children, that father is not the abuser. Isn't that crazy? So in the court system, the truth becomes a lie and the lie becomes the truth. And that's exactly how the system works. And if the father has money, then pretty much you're deadbeat.
Which is also
They pay
not.
they pay off judges, believe it or not.
So
Judges, yeah, yeah.
the father in this case has a lot of money too
See?
and
Okay, well,
influence.
I didn't know that part. But yeah, but we both know, Stacy, come on. It's money and status, meaning if the father is a cop or a firefighter or, whatever, as long as he has that badge, that will save him. And if he has the money, that will save him too. And that's how the system works.
I always believe, Miss G, when parents present to the courts these days for divorce custody actions, uh, I I just believe that from what I've seen as a court watcher in my own personal case and what people tell me, I just believe that the courts look at the financial portfolio, the political connections, and the
Hmm.
best interest of the state, their employer, before they look at the family and the children.
Hmm.
We
It's
have
the income
audits in
expense,
Erie
baby.
County.
How much
Yeah, we
money
have.
do you Yeah.
What's that? What's that, Miss
I
G?
said it's the income expense that matters to them, not the children. It's how much money you make. Who is
We
Georgette Soul? Wait, that's my name. What the hell? Georgette Soul? My name is Georgette. Damn it! You can't take my name. Um,
mm,
is that for real? Am I looking at this right? I'm a victim of the exact. Do you know who Georgette Soul is?
no, I don't, Miss
Broke my.
G.
That is so weird. So Georgette, she said very few of us. Oh my God, another Georgette. Oh, you're gonna have to change your name. Oh my Oh, okay. She's gonna have to change her name. We're just gonna have to call you GS. That's it. GS is your name.
And you're GT.
But yeah, and I'm GT. That's right. So did yeah. I'm sorry. What were you saying? I'm sorry. She shocked me. I saw my name. I'm like, what the hell is this? That's my name.
She
She said,
says
"Oh,
that
here, make that
George,
because people are gonna think you're me." Oh my God.
yeah,
Go
but you know
ahead.
what, Miss G? She's your ditto because she says the exact same thing happened to her too.
The same thing happened to her.
Yep, she
Four
says my
kids.
ex-husband broke my arm, left me for dead. They took my kids 4 months after I left him for putting them in a domestic violence situation, then gave custody to him.
Yeah, like all the abusers. We know this. I'm not surprised whether your name is Georgette or not, young lady. It doesn't matter. It's they all are against women. All of them are against women, and the more you guys try to make sense out of this, it's not gonna help you. The only thing we can do is make changes, and how you make changes, we need to stand up for what's right. What Stacey is doing, court watching, all this is important. The cops couldn't even get them out because they know they're gonna be sued. Believe me, they can be sued. So they don't want to be in a lawsuit. You know how many times police officers get into a lawsuit? A lot, a lot.
You know, I asked the police
Georgette
officers,
said,
Miss G.
hold on, I just
I
found
just
them
found them
again
again
after
after almost 8 years. Finally get to have them in my life. I'm so blessed for this.
you what?
She says that she found her kids after 8 years and she finally gets to have them in her life and she's so blessed for this.
Amen.
Congratulations, Georgette. Yeah.
Congratulations, Georgette. That really sounds weird. Okay, so I never heard my name like that before on somebody else's. So, all right, I would like to go to Kevin now. Kevin, your name is not Georgette. Your name is Kevin. So
Yeah.
let's talk about Kevin. So Kevin, what is your role in all this?
So I mean, yeah, I'm Katie's brother. Just to inform everyone a little bit on the situation today. Stacey explained it. Which is how Katie told me on the phone that it happened because I did talk to her earlier. She said the cuffs were put on her very tight. I think she has bruises on her wrists. So I mean, when I was trying to talk to her on the phone, they were, trying to get her off of the phone at one point. So, she couldn't talk to me. So she had to tell the man, I'm going to continue to talk. Um, but what they're doing there, at the town of Heartland Court. I don't know what the judge is thinking when she does this, because what is she when she does this? What is she promoting in the courtroom? Well, what's the objective by doing this? Because to me, it doesn't seem to be doing much. Besides, I guess if you want to put, fear or intimidate someone, I guess, you do what Judge Sullivan, did is put someone in, for contempt of court, or try to get, disorderly conduct on someone, something that you could probably, it's so overly broad that you could probably apply it to, a lot of situations that, it probably shouldn't be applied to. Um, and as far as the bail bond documents, I know my sister brought it up to the judge, and I believe from what I know, the judge said that's between you and the bond company. Now ask me this: how is a fraudulent bond between us and the bond company, which the bond company apparently didn't issue the bond? So if a company issued a bond that's fraudulent, if a person issued a bond that's a fraudulent, and essentially worked with the court to pass that off as a real document, that's not between us and the bond company, because it's not the bond company's bond, it's a fraudulent bond. But that's really there's a lot more to say, but there's so
At
many.
what point, Kevin? for a second. When you told the judge it's a fraudulent bond, was that submitted into court as exhibit? It was,
So I
Kevin?
believe it was. I believe it was. Um, I want to say that I know that the judge received a letter um, from the bond company because it was addressed to her, and the bond the essentially the letter indicated that the bond was not issued by the bond company and it was fraudulent. Um, so if someone is doing that and you're a court or a judge, it doesn't seem normal to me just to say that's between you and the bond company. It just doesn't seem normal. It's a fraudulent document that they have in their possession that they refuse to certify initially. It took several times going back there to get it certified properly. Um, and you can see right there, it says, the matter was referred as part of investigation. ASE was further contacted via email by an individual, regarding the bond. And then it says, we contacted the court.
Identifying himself as a
Yeah, it's not a valid bond and it was not
spoke
issued
with
by
the
the
court
American Community
clerk and blah
Company.
blah.
So,
Yeah, but did you guys get that certified though? Did you guys get that certified where somebody can actually certify that and write a statement of discovery and all that? All of that is necessary so that when the judge doesn't want to hear you guys, is because that wasn't submitted to court. You need the statement, like you need to attach a statement of, for example, somebody testimony, like I under penalty of perjury, blah 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 blah. All that is important. All of that is important because the judge is not going to take your word for it. The judge is not going to take a letter that is written without any evidence to it.
right.
That's
Um,
now I know
It
what.
was Miss
Uh,
G. I know what you're saying. So it was attached as an exhibit to one of Katie's motions, and that was brought up in court, and it was discussed in court today and on transcript. But I don't think that Katie asked for that particular letter to be offered into evidence. But there is still
the
the
letter
problem
was
with
from who? The letter was from
the
who?
the letter. What that letter that was just up on the screen was from the bond company saying that it is not a valid bond from them.
Right. So that bond company should be writing something under the penalty of perjury. And that's how it should be addressed to the court. So I'm just telling you from, dealing with this, with Davis and working with him, you need to have that in order for you. Just a letter from the school or a letter from the company, it doesn't matter. It has to be presented into evidence. I need to look at what's going on, honestly, to understand what happened. But you know that, Stacey, you can look at it, and you know, it needs to be presented in court in a legal way, not in a human way, because they're not human. So they don't expect us to act like human. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm trying to be as
It,
honest as I can.
it
Uh-huh.
needs to be certified in some way that it's under oath, and then it also has to be admitted as evidence, and then
Correct.
labeled as evidence and accepted as evidence.
Correct. Correct.
But I don't even know if that was the judge for it to go before, because we don't even know if this judge had jurisdiction
But if
for
the judge
anything.
didn't have jurisdiction, then I don't know about that part. But I do know when the judge doesn't have jurisdiction, I don't know. I don't know New York. I don't know. I don't even know if that judge has full immunity or partial immunity. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
because if well, I mean, in New York State we have absolute immunity, but if she didn't have jurisdiction and then she's making rulings, I don't know if she's covered under judicial immunity. I'm not sure how that goes.
and we can ask about it. But for your sister, Kevin, your sister was running away from domestic violence and she was trying to keep her kids safe. Your sister had full custody of the children, am I correct?
yes.
And the father
Custody.
didn't have any custody of them, am I correct?
Correct.
So So basically, she wasn't running away. So that father fabricated the documents to go through all this. Did you guys think about that?
Well,
That the
I
father
guess
fabricated the bail bond because he has money to do so.
I mean, if
I
the
know
bail,
rich fathers who fabricated. Uh-huh.
so I mean,
Go ahead, Kevin.
even if you look at the bond,
We're
you'll
lagging.
see that if you look at the bond, you'll see that the top of the bond is cut off. It's really weird, the way the bond looks, and the way it was given by the court is the very top of the bond was cut off. So at the very top of the bond, it says security features. It has unique security features on there. It says, in order to verify this is a authentic document, please look for the micro printing, and the heat sensitive ink, and I think there's a few other security features that were to be on that bond to determine if it was authentic. Maybe like a watermark on the back of the document as well. So I just find it interesting that the court is giving us that document with the top of the bond cut off. So essentially, no one would have known that just got that document that document was fraudulent, because those features at the top were cut off. Very, very weird to me, because I know when they sent a copy of the document to the bonds company so they could verify it was real, they had it all nice and centered on the piece of paper so you could see the security features. So it seems pretty bizarre that they're giving the bond surety company the bond with the full bond in view, but they're giving us a bond that's cut off at the top with the security features. So I don't know what's going on there.
Did you guys try to get an expert witness?
An expert witness on bonds? On bonds?
To that bond that you have?
Sorry, I see Stacey talking, but I can't hear her. I believe she's on
Okay,
mute.
that was loud. What was?
Can we
Okay,
talk
yeah.
about
There we
contempt for a
go.
minute, Ms. G? The requirements for contempt?
Yes.
So I know a few of the elements. I think there are 4 elements of contempt that must be met. One of them is the judge can't leap to drastic remedy for the issue of contempt. So in other words, when Katie was arguing the issue of jurisdiction, and in all honesty, if you feel a judge doesn't have jurisdiction, if you continue to participate in the court hearing and it continues, I think that's implied consent. So in a sense, I think, as Katie was arguing jurisdiction, she was doing actually what she had to do, and that would not be considered disruptive behavior. She had to say, to the court, I don't think you have jurisdiction. I don't want to proceed. I'm not contracting with this court. I don't agree with being here. So to me, that's not contumacious behavior. But also, the judge can't just jump straight to sending someone off to jail. The judge has to try some remedies that are less harsh before she sends somebody off to jail. And I also know that contempt has to be knowing, willful, and intentional. Katie knew the judge was telling her to stop talking, but I don't think it's knowing or willful because Katie knew that she kind of had to for her argument. And then the order has to be clear. And also, it's a violation of due process if somebody's speaking to the record and has to speak to the record on the issue of jurisdiction, and that needs to be spoken in court. if she's telling Katie to stop talking and sit down, then I think that that's like a gag order, or like, violation of due process, that Katie can't get to the record what she's trying to say. And I know there's a couple more requirements for contempt. Do you know what they are, Miss G, off the top of your head? I think you're on mute, Miss G.
Right. I
We can hear
can't
you
hear
now.
anything you're saying. I was trying to make sense of what you're saying because you're going in and out. Apparently, my Grace is telling me that my Wi-Fi is slow. I don't know. Anyways, I you were going in and out. Could you repeat your question again?
So I was kind of going over some of the requirements for contempt, because it's not just
Uh-oh.
like a judge can throw out contempt and then send somebody off to jail. Like, one of the requirements is the judge has to try less harsh remedy before she sends somebody off to jail or fines them, high amounts of money, sanctions or anything like that. The judge is supposed to try less harsh remedy before sending somebody off to jail.
That is true.
And also
That
Katie
is
was
true. But
arguing
again, go
the
ahead. Katie was arguing what?
issue of jurisdiction. And I think if you're not
Mhm.
consenting to the jurisdiction because it was changed on her without her being able to respond to the motion for change of venue, if she's arguing the issue of jurisdiction, plus there's this issue with the fraudulent document disseminated by the judge, um, I think that, if Katie were to cooperate with the judge and allow the hearing to continue, then that's implied consent that she's now agreeing to the jurisdiction. So really what Katie had to do was stop the court proceedings from continuing, I think. I'm not sure. What do you think, Miss G?
I wouldn't really have an answer for that because again, it's New York. I've never really been to a courtroom in New York. I mean, I don't know how things work there, but I do know here in California that if you speak over a judge, meaning if the judge is talking and you speak over the judge, like interrupt the judge, she can request you being arrested, but the judge will give so many warnings that judge is not going to just get somebody to arrest you. It will have to be like so many warnings. And I don't
And then
think his sister did. I don't think his sister disrespected the judge in any way. I don't because I'm talking to Kevin and he looks so respectful and he's very sweet. So I don't think he comes from that kind of, I don't think his sister is like that. So you can tell a lot about people, by seeing their family. So to me, I feel like did your sister like retaliate the judge against the judge? Did your sister overreact? Did she tell the judge to shut up, or did she say "if you judge"? Because that's something I would say, "if you judge," But did she even say that, Kevin? I'm like,
I can say as a watcher, there was definitely no FU judge.
Yeah.
okay, right. I was being sarcastic, but you know what I mean. I mean, it takes something drastic, but for her to tell the judge that the judge has no jurisdiction, did she say, "Your Honor, you have no jurisdiction," or did she say, "Hey, you don't have jurisdiction"? How did she say it?
She was saying, Your Honor, you don't have jurisdiction here.
Yeah, there you go. What crime is that, though? There is no crime in that. I just Googled that. There's no crime. Even Google doesn't see a crime with that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but again, I was not there. But Stacey, you were there, and I know that you did not see her do anything wrong. So I believe she has a great lawsuit. Do you remember the judge all over YouTube? Kevin, you should watch it. The judge all over YouTube. What happened? It was somebody was in the courtroom and then they walked out the courtroom. That judge left his bench, chased the guy outside the courtroom, or was it a woman? Started yelling at her or him, like literally trashing them in the hallway. He's not supposed to do that.
Miss G, in our town,
I'm just telling you, they don't have. Uh huh.
we had a judge
What?
who was kicked we had a judge that was kicked off the bench
Hmm.
because somebody's cell phone went off in the courtroom, and he sent everyone to jail. And he put them all into contempt because
Oh
none of
yeah.
them would admit who had the cell phone. And I think actually the person whose cell phone went off was actually like one of the attorneys or something, I think is what it came out.
Yeah, I actually heard about that. I was
And they
reading
did not arrest the attorneys? Oh my God.
You know what else was interesting, Miss G, during this? There's a couple of things that were really outrageous. So one thing is apparently this judge was wearing an earpiece and was communicating with other people, and they were advising the judge what to do. And the judge kept on going off the bench
What?
to go. The judge kept going off the bench to go call somebody to be advised what to do. And what really bothers me also was there was a Zoom meeting going on during court. So the court appearance was in person, but on the table that Katie was sitting at with her sister, and there was an attorney there, but he just sits there. He doesn't do anything because Katie wants to represent herself, so they just have him sit. There was a computer, and it was on Zoom, and it was connected to Dean Paleo, who works with the 8th Judicial District Administrative Judge. And he was watching the whole proceeding. But what really bothers me is if Katie said anything to her sister, or if she did talk to that attorney, he would have heard it.
Oh
Because it
my
was right
God.
on her table. And it was transcribing everything that was said.
right. So there was a
Oh my
administrative
God.
person listening to what was happening in real time. I believe.
It was
Uh,
real time. It was real time, and it was right on her table. So anything she would have said to her sister or that attorney, he would have heard it, overheard it.
right.
Oh my God. This is scandalous. This is crazy. Was there any video recording in all this time? Anybody was video recording it at all?
There was not video recording to my knowledge. But what was also interesting is as court watchers, they made us all take off our coats. We weren't allowed to bring our phones in the courtroom. And the district attorney had her phone on the desk in front of her. And Katie did ask her if she was recording, which the district attorney did not respond. So, in my view as a court watcher, her silence was equated with fraud, and in fact, that she was recording.
I'm shocked. Not shocked. What am I saying? I'm not shocked. Um, but this is crazy. That judge is she should be removed. She should be in jail. This is scandalous. That judge is taking money from that rich ex of your sister. For sure, 100%. I mean, I hate to say 100%, but okay. My gut feeling is telling me that. Based on what I'm hearing from you guys, my gut is telling me that.
And they were eavesdropping on Katie's conversation with her sister.
Mm-hmm. And Kevin, what does that guy do for a living, dude? Like her sister's ex.
Yeah. So he's ex boyfriend, and so essentially his family is in like the gas and petroleum business, I guess you could say. So yeah.
So he makes good money.
I mean, I guess so. It takes a lot of something to do what they're doing here.
What, Misty? I mean, I'm still
Wow.
like on this whole like eavesdropping on Katie's conversation with her sister. I mean, couldn't that be like mistrial or something. Like the judge is the eighth judicial district administrative judge's assistant, well, attorney, Dean Paleo, was right on the desk with Katie and her sister on Zoom. They could hear anything she said. I mean, we were, as court watchers, we were whispering, sitting way back, and it was transcribing what we were saying. So that's how
Are you
sensitive it
serious?
was, what was being said. Yes.
What is the name of that judge? Oh, but never mind. We can't say that.
I can let you know,
Yeah, if you can just text me the name, that'd be great. I would like to. I would like to
She's just
inquire about her.
she's just a town justice too.
So she's not. Oh.
Yeah, so in New York State, at least, for town justices, it doesn't require any law degree. I know at one point, the New York State Unified Court System did try to kind of like enact something like that, but ultimately it never went through. And so, I mean, from what I was told by an attorney at one point is, in order to become a town justice, you only need to pass a 10-question test to do it. Now, is that true? I'm not entirely positive, but that's what I was told.
I believe it because they act like it. They act like it. They act so stupid. I honest to God don't care for female judges whatsoever. They shouldn't even have a rope to sit on a bench, to be honest with you. And I'm sorry for other women that hear me say that. I don't care because I'm a woman and I actually don't like them. They have been really harsh on female mothers, especially mothers. They're so harsh on them. Completely, it's like they hated their mother. I swear, as God is my witness, I feel like all female judges hated their mother because all that I have encountered with other people, myself and my friends, the female judges hated moms. So what could it be? They had bad relationships with their mother, right? I don't know, but it can't be a coincidence. But what that judge did needs, I mean, or that person did needs to be addressed, and I don't know how to address it. To me, it sounds. I wish Davis was here for this.
Yeah.
I really do.
And Miss G, something else happened that
Hmm.
Katie brought up in court. So there's this. Katie was requesting um, discovery evidence, right?
Hmm.
And she first of all, there are documents that the Niagara County Sheriff's Office has from her history of reporting domestic violence.
Hmm.
Those have disappeared and not been shared with her. And it's her right to have them whether she's in court or not, or she wants them for 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road. She wants those documents. It's her right to possess those. They're about her, you know. Um, and then the DA's office also lost all the exculpatory evidence that they had on file because apparently a certain DA, assistant DA, no longer works with the office, and they're saying that she took all the evidence with her when she left, and now they don't have it anymore.
How can she take the evidence with her when she left?
Well, that would be a crime.
Sure would.
That is a crime.
Can't
I'm
legally.
telling you. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead, baby.
I don't think you can legally take, if you're a district attorney's office, an employee there. Those records belong to the people. They belong to the state. They don't belong to the person to take wherever the records. So I mean, it would be a crime if that's what had occurred, which is what she was told. So.
How do you feel about everything, Kevin? How are you holding up?
I'm doing as good as I can given the situation. We're going forward in all circumstances. So there's no I guess backing down, you could say, despite the efforts to try to silence, it's not going to work.
How's your other sister doing tonight?
Christina, she's doing from what I know, she's doing, okay. Besides the fact that she was placed in handcuffs, put in the back of the police car, only to be released from the police car and given, an appearance ticket.
That's horrible.
And I heard the handcuffs on her were really tight too. And from Katie's arrest today, I heard that one of the police officers was asking my sister for some reason if he was going to be sued by her. So I don't know if the man realized what he was doing was wrong or something. Because, like it was discussed earlier, I believe she was originally taken by the New York State Troopers to the New York State Trooper barracks, only to be brought back to the courts in front of the judge, to be brought by the New York State Police or the Niagara County Sheriff's Office to the jail, because apparently they couldn't process her at the New York State Trooper's office because they didn't have some kind of grounds to do it there for some reason. So,
One of the things about this case that it's horrific. Honestly, I'm not even a relative. I'm not you. I'm not Katie. I'm not your other sister. And I left the courthouse with a migraine because it was so horrific and stressful for me. And I'm not even you guys or your family. But at the same time, witnessing this horrific occurrence before me, one of the most beautiful things that I see is the relationship that your sister has with Katie and your supportive relationship with Katie. It's beautiful to see, because a lot of times these situations try to just destroy families, and that you are all united through this is beautiful to see. And I commend your hard work and dedication to your family.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of a person, a lot of out of my sister. But at the end of the day, you just have to keep going forward and digging as deep as you can, even when it seems like the hole's not dug very deep. You just got to keep on going, get in the trench, and keep digging.
Just if I can give a little advice to preserve your family, just always remember, even if you get frustrated with each other, because these times are intense, always remember to keep the anger where it belongs, and that's focused at all these perpetrators, not at each other, but at the perpetrators, the people that deserve the outrage, because they're the ones that are causing the problem. You guys are all just trying to cope and handle the situation as best you can.
Yeah, but I'm really curious, and on first of all, I want to make sure that his sister gets the right help. I want to see the kids with her sister, not with this, demonic idiot, right? So, what I know you told me you're going to do something before we went on the phone. You told me this on the phone, and whatever you said you're going to do, you need to do it immediately. Okay, because I think it has to be done. Okay.
Yep, I know what you're saying in code, Miss G.
I know I can't say what it is, but yeah,
Kevin knows too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that you need to do immediately, because you can't wait too long on this, and her innocence has to show, and also it's going to show on the record that she was arrested. They're not going to care why she was arrested. They're not going to care what she was telling the judge. They wanted her arrested. They wanted your sister arrested. I kid you not. Yeah. This is all a setup. This is all a setup. Because to me, the judge can only arrest you if you're in contempt, right? Or you're literally about to shoot the judge. Either way, you have to do something really bad or try to do something really bad to get arrested, not just to say, Your Honor, this is not your jurisdiction. You know
Yeah,
what?
Miss G, there, like I said, there were so many cops in that courtroom today. The
Yeah,
Middleport Police, the Niagara County Sheriff's Office, the state troopers. There were
it's
so
hands. Yeah.
many, and I'm thinking, geez, they're here for this mom that's trying to protect her children. Meanwhile, there's all of these resources in the courtroom for her right now. And what's going on out in the community? Because I know that they just let that serial rapist out of jail, Nicholas D'Angelo, who used to be an attorney for CPS and was is a level 3 violent sex offender. They just let him out. He was only in for 4 months, but all the resources are in there for Katie, a mom who's just trying to protect her kids. Meanwhile, they just let the violent level 3 sex offender out of jail. And now they put Katie in.
I think I honestly think Fox News should know about this. I want you to, Stacey. I have connection to Fox News. I want you to call them and just let them know who referred you there and talk about this story and see if they can cover it in New York. I don't know if there's Fox News in New York, but they can cover it in New York. I don't know. Is there Fox News in New York? I have no idea. Or is it something else? No, no
I'll try,
Fox
Miss
News.
G. I don't know. I'm sure Kevin will try too. We'll both try.
Yeah, I think this should be on the news because this is so important point to make, and the way you would address it is better than I would because I wasn't there. You were there. Kevin was there. I had a you know the best way for you to address it. Also, if you know any is TV stations in New York that's popular, um, call them, and tell them, you know, refer them to what's really going on. But someone or some station that you trust, meaning not all station like CNN, I wouldn't call them for anything. If my life depended on it. Does that make sense? So there's some news station like 13, 31. I think there's a 30, 33, 56 in New York, right? Okay. Well, we will find out. Kevin, this should be nationwide exposure. And honestly, from what I'm listening to you and Stacey, I really honestly believe it was a setup. And like she said, what's his name? The CPS attorney that was let out after 4 months only in jail.
Level
He
3 violent sex
literally,
offender.
yeah, he's a sex offender. He had sex with a minor, a CPS kid.
Yep.
Sex trafficked her.
Minors, actually, not just one. But they let him out within 4 months. That goes to show you the government protect their own. They protect their own because he was working for the state.
And what
And
example does that set for anyone? What example does that set?
there is no example. That the only example they have is that they're in power and we're not, and we're the one paying their salary. It's like working for a bad boss or a bad employee. The employee will say, "Yes, you pay me, but I'm going to treat you like crap, and I'm going to hurt you every day until the day you die." That's exactly the point. The point is, you guys pay our salary. That's what the government is saying, and then we can do whatever we want to you. That's exactly what it is. Women have no rights. I don't know how many times I have to say this. A lot of men say women have rights. No, they don't. Mothers don't have rights. Period. They don't. Not in the courtroom. It hasn't been since 2008. Before then, yes. 2008, you know who took office, and you know who was helping him, and you know whose husband implemented all this crap. Okay. So without saying names, you guys are smart enough to put two and two together. Um, hey James. Hey Stasha. I will Stasha, I'm so sorry, honey. No Canada. Um, I found three Canadian CPS attorneys. They don't want to handle anybody's case anymore. I don't know what's going on. I got an email from one of them. The other one left me a message and they said that they don't want to handle any CPS cases. I am so sorry. I tried. I tried. I'm so, so sorry. Sugar Plum 69 said CPS laws needs to change with stronger laws. Stronger laws? Uh, no. CPS needs to be abolished. That's what CPS says. There is no stronger laws. How can we put stronger? How can it be changed to stronger laws when this makes no sense, baby girl? Maybe rewrite it. Rewrite it. Did you see that, Stacey? Am I reading it wrong? Uh oh, Stacey's
I'm
gone.
here. I mean, stronger laws to protect parents, maybe, or keep
Maybe.
children in the family because I almost every show it ends up coming up. But the 2018 Family First Act, it's violated all the time, and it's a federal act. But I think it's because it wasn't written strong enough. Um,
Oh, it
and
wasn't detailed.
yeah,
Detailed.
and well, it wasn't
It's
detailed, but it's
vague.
also it never changed the money flow. The money flow is what really needs
Vague.
to change.
It's vague. Vague.
Yeah,
Kind
but
of
the
like when
money
you
flow
have a
needs.
court order with a narcissist, for example, right? You have to be specific in that court order.
Yep.
What are the consequences when the other party violates a visitation time? Consequences are a fine, for example. So when that narcissist commits that crime, then you go to court and say, Your Honor, now what? Right? You can fine that person. If he
Right.
refuses to pay the fine, then you go back to court. So basically, they need stricter laws in a way where it is not vaguely written, but how can I say it? But clearly
So they can't slither in and
formatted.
out.
Yeah. So exactly. So they can't go in and out with this saying this and that and blah 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 and make their own assumption of what this means. And it's kind of like the Bible being rewritten. And you're like, but that's not in the real Bible. Why is this here? It's like that's how people interpret whatever they want, and they want to leave it vague because they want the social worker to interpret it the way they want to. That's what Nancy Schaefer died for. Nancy Schaefer died for exposing all the corruption. Okay. And we should always remember her. We should always remember Nancy Schaefer. But yes, she died for exposing the government corruption on families and children. And they're retaliating against mothers. Like I told you guys, they're demons in human bodies. Why? Because they hate life. They hate anyone that gives life. Mothers give life. Without the mother, the man cannot produce life. So, the mother is the easiest target to attack because that's what weakens the family. You guys know how you say, my mom was the glue that held the family together, right? My mom was. When my mom died, there was no glue. It was gone. It was broken. When my dad died, that was worse. So two people died. These two people were the foundation. That's exactly why they go after the woman, because the woman is the foundation that holds that family together. The man is the protector of the home. So they're gonna go after the woman. Am I right or wrong, Stacey? Am
They
I?
do,
That's
Miss G. I said the other day, you're like the CPS ghost of past, present, and future, and you're always right in predicting what CPS is going to do.
They're so, I don't know what it is. I swear, everybody that I talk to, they say, Miss G, that happened to me. That happened to me. That happened to me. What you said last week happened to me. It's so weird. But you guys need to really keep that in mind. I don't know if God is speaking through me. I don't know if I'm that blessed, but there's a message here. You guys need to stand up. You guys need to expose them everywhere in the world, not just in your county or not just with your friends. We're talking about everywhere that
It's
don't have CPS cases. You guys need to bring awareness to all this. This is
it's
so important
it's
because if
why
we're together, we cannot be broken. We cannot be shaken.
it's why I started court watching, Miss G.
Yeah.
Because the media wants to portray Katie as she's being escorted by marshals after being brought back to Niagara County from New Mexico. But there was no media in the courtroom today. Is Katie's exposing all this corruption? No media for that, but they want to make her look bad. So really, people just need to go into the courts and watch what's going on from the public, because it's filtered by the time it hits the media and people think they know what's going on in their community. Go in and court watch, because what we saw today was horrific. You got to get off your butt, get off the
Um,
couch, go in and watch.
I honestly want to see that video. I don't have that video. Did you send it to me?
Which video,
Did
Miss
you send
G?
me that video?
Which one, honey?
Did was it on the news when the
Oh
sheriff
yeah,
was
yeah, I'll send it to you. Yep.
yeah,
And
send it
and
to
we
me. I
had
want to see that.
we also had some people take videos of her arrest today and how rough they were with her too.
Okay, this is all planned. Okay, you guys kidding me, right? That woman didn't do a crime. She took her children from a domestic violence situation. That was how many years ago? 5 years ago.
Yep.
So
Well,
she had
now
custody
like
of the children.
like 7 5 6 7 years ago, because she was
Okay,
in New
7 years
Mexico for
ago.
5 years, and then
Yeah,
they brought her back 20 months ago, I think is what she said in court today. Please,
yeah.
Kevin, if
That
I say anything wrong, correct me, because you're quiet there, but you know the situation better than me.
Yeah, as far as like dates and stuff, there's just so many of them. It's it's hard to keep track of everything that's gone on, just because there's so many events that have occurred. So
Yeah, it's a lot of moving pieces, but the public needs to participate and pay attention to what's going on, because you know when the cat's away, the mice will play. When people think that the courts are doing what they're supposed to be doing, actually, since starting court watching, I've seen judges sex traffic children to pedophiles, and then we go in as court watchers, and then all of a sudden the natural parents getting custody back, and the judge knew that the stranger trying to petition for custody was a pedophile all along, leaving the kids in his custody. So it's opposite. Like, the judiciary wants the public to have confidence in them, but if you go in and you start court watching, you will be amazed what you actually see.
I can't wait to start it here in California. But I do believe that his sister is set up because the media was all over it when they had her come in here in the United States or in New York. But why was the media involved to begin with? What was the reason for that? Who notified the media? Somebody
Probably.
wanted her to have that video of her arrest, right? The media is not just notified like that. They're not psychic. Somebody has to notify them, right? So who notified them? Am I right or wrong? Am I overthinking here? This is a setup, right?
You're welcome to say it, Miss G, because what we saw today seemed, I mean, the DA didn't get to say their side, but now here Mr. Nye is commenting, and he was one of the court watchers with us.
I called 911, asked for the troopers. They asked who I was calling about. Soon as I mentioned Katie's name, the operator said, send more cars. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. So see, I didn't know that, William. And I literally said that just a few seconds ago. She's set up. She's being set up. Um, and my biggest concern right now is her ex part of the cartels. Am I overthinking that too? I don't know. But her ex knows something. He knows some people, and he set it up.
I mean, to me right now, this is like the reason it stinks of possibly like cartel, like you're saying, Miss G, is this is a lot more than just even a rich man can orchestrate.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot more than that. That's why I mean the only. But you have to understand there's so people in our judicial system who are dating the cartels. You have to understand that, and that's proven. That's not a joke. That's reality.
And then you see the brutality of the police because she was no threat to anybody. I mean, what if she raised her voice in court? What if at worst she was disorderly in court or something that the judge put her in contempt? That doesn't beget violence where you're smashing somebody's head on the trunk of the trooper's car while you're arresting them, which is what happened.
Oh my God! Did anybody take pictures of this?
Yes.
How can no one take videos of this?
No, they did. Our court watchers did.
Good. I would like to see that video, and I would blast it. I would send it to Attorney Michael,
Yeah.
and maybe he can help us find somebody that can take her case. Then we're gonna blast it all over the
When
media, and we need a synopsis story about that, and we need like a brief description of it, so I can send it all
when
over.
Katie's sister came back in the courtroom, she had a red mark on the side of her face, and they both had marks on their wrists from handcuffs.
Okay, I'm pissed. Um, I'm more pissed than I was. But you need to send me. You need to send me the storyline, and I need to send it to a couple of people that will open doors in, you know, newscasters to see what we can do to expose this corruption. This is corruption, and this is happening everywhere, not just CPS. This is happening in family court, and family court are taking advantage of this, even though they're lower courts and state is higher courts, but they're both in on it. Both are in on it. I'm telling you, there's a state judge in LA County. Now she's the head of family court in downtown LA. So just to let you know, corruption exists everywhere, but we need to expose these corruptions. And oftentimes, like I said, female judges hate women. And that is proven and that is a fact. And I would like anyone to come and tell me that is not true. I haven't seen one female judge in child support court or in family court or in criminal court or in CPS court that actually has common freaking sense. Those judges hate women, period. And that's basically, yep, Sugar Plum 69 said, mhm, yeah, that is the truth. So they have, I don't know if Kevin, you need to hear this. I know you're a guy, but you're a sweet guy. And they have this men club. They have them in organizations such as fire department, police department, all that, sheriff, all that. That men club, what they have is a specific attorney. And that specific attorney tells them how to win custody from the mother of their children, how to avoid not paying child support and spousal support. They literally walk them step by step on what to do. This has gotten bigger throughout the years. They've been doing this. And you guys will see like a street sign or a street like on a like a sticky on the wall saying uh, father's rights. Those are the ones I'm talking about. They have this father group to teach them how to deceive and to manipulate and to get their children so they don't have to pay child support and you know alimony. So basically, they will call the police. I'll tell you, because I had somebody, a friend of mine, that went undercover. They will call the police, and what they do, they will tell them, call the police, tell the police that your wife attacked you, and go and smack yourself, and let the police know that you don't want to touch her because you don't want to get in trouble and you don't want to be arrested. Automatically, the police will come in and take you to jail. Then when the court sees that it's a man doing it, then guess what? The man is the victim now, and the woman becomes the perpetrator that doesn't see her kids for the rest of her damn life.
You know, Miss G,
Mm-hmm.
right now, Katie is doing 10 days in jail. And not too long ago, we had a case where a man was caught on video violently beating his wife. And I'm sorry if anyone's been through trauma and they're listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
He took like 25 full force swings at her head. This was caught on video. He kicked her. He took pictures of her. He took her cell phone from her, took pictures of her while he was beating her, and tried to sexually assault her at the end of the video. And she was kind of stuporous after he beat her. The police charged that as harassment, as a misdemeanor. And the guy, after beating her so badly, he was saying, "Oh, I'm suicidal," like he was flipping the narrative and making everything about poor him. He's suicidal now. They took him to our trauma center and had him psychologically evaluated, and they released him. So Katie's doing 10 days in jail. This guy was released after violently beating his wife. He had done time prior in prison for kidnapping a woman and telling her he was going to kill her. And guess what this guy did when he was released? No bail. No bail, no jail. Guess what he did when he was released within a week? He murdered his wife in front of the kids. And I think it was even by a school bus. Shot her in the head. And she
Good job. Good job. Good job.
And
judges. Good job.
And she knew he was going to kill her, to the extent she was wearing a bulletproof vest when he shot her. And that's a case that happened here in town. So Katie's doing 10 days in jail, but this guy did none.
I know. What about the CPS attorney that got a slap on the hand, 4 months in jail? He didn't even get to toss his salad. I know they didn't toss his salad. They protected him.
It was leaked that he was even online while in jail soliciting women.
Okay, America, this is our judicial system. Welcome to America, everyone. And welcome to the fact that you guys want to drop everything and come and live in America. So stay home. Anyone that doesn't live in America, stay home. Don't come to America. Really don't.
So Scott, he's been following this Katie's case quite closely here, Scott. And he says the court corruption is really bad in here in Western New York. He himself is a victim of it. And his ex had serial rapist Nick D'Angelo as an attorney. And the judges awarded him everything, even when the courts knew D'Angelo was lying.
I saw that.
So, and this should be super embarrassing for Niagara County, New York, too, that while Nick D'Angelo was arrested and after his arraignment for such a serious charge of sexually abusing and raping, having 13 felony charges of rape, including a 16-year-old that was apparently in DSS custody at the time. Those serious charges, they let him practice as an attorney for something like 3 years before they did his trial. All this time, they kept postponing it. And that's imminent danger. And he was literally being an attorney for custody matters.
You know what's sad?
So embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing because that's what they do. If you guys look at all the attorneys in LA County who are handling your case, look at the one that is in charge of CPS court in LA County. There's a guy, not going to say his name, but he's in the LA County, Monterey Park. Anyways, that guy has several records against him.
Right. Yeah.
And
Because
in my
Mr.
mind, yeah, in my mind, I couldn't understand like how. I mean, you're supposed to have good, good record. You're an attorney, or you're a judge, or yeah. But the reason they have these guys work for the state because they're under the state jurisdiction, meaning they will control them because nobody else would give them a job. They're not part of the bar anymore. They're part of the state. Get it? So they're somewhat bar, but mostly state.
Yeah,
They
because
protecting their license.
just like the gentleman you're talking about, Mr. D'Angelo was hired to work for CPS despite it being public knowledge at the time of his hiring that he was a sex offender.
Yep. Yeah.
So just like you're saying in California. So it's not by accident, it's like it's by design.
It's by design. So they designed all this. That's why you'll see attorneys that are immigration attorneys, for example. Those immigration attorneys did something not right. Now the state takes them and then they keep them under their control. That's why you guys hear the attorneys, the court appointed attorneys tell mothers, just have you done your drug test today? Have you done your drug test? But there is no drugs involved. But have you done it? Have you done it? But can we talk about a strategy? Can we do no, 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 no. I don't I gotta go. That's how they are. But then they go to the mothers towards the end of the case and say, well, if you plead guilty, I will make sure you get your kids back. That's another lie. But they're only there free for you to get you to do something against your will by giving you false hope. Who is the father of lies? The devil. Who is the father of confusion? The devil. Who is the deceiver? The devil. And he has little demons that he, implements to certain situations to help him. So think about it. None of these people are normal. So what are we going to do about it? We need to expose them. How are we going to expose them? We all need to stand together and expose these people. I'm going to do and continue to do everything I can. Stacey knows what I do behind closed doors. I don't tell everyone what I do, but I make sure I do what I can. Now, if we all do the same thing and get our ego out of our butts, right? And start helping parents, start exposing the system, start doing it in a legal way, not in an illegal way. Because some of the people I spoke to, they want to do some bad things. You don't want to do that. That's not the message we're trying to make. The message we're trying to make is that this is not justice. This is not lawful what they're doing. What they're doing is illegal. That's what I feel should be done. Um, the system is beyond messed up. The system is corrupt beyond.
It's infiltrated with
I don't even know what to say
perpetrators.
anymore. Yeah, the
It's
system is so bad.
it's like the Catholic priest scandal is a microcosm
Yeah,
of what's happening throughout our government.
yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So let's if you can give me those things, I would really appreciate it. About Kevin and his sister. I mean, about his sister. And I think I'm gonna give you a few numbers and emails. You can email, um, and or I can just email it from our office. You know what I mean? And CC you on it. But if you can just do a draft, we need to make sure this story goes everywhere, and that might even open the door to all the corruptions in CPS as well. But we need a couple of news stations that have big huevos, right?
Yep.
It's okay to say huevos, right?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Kevin, I know you want to say a lot. I know this we need at least 2-3 hour show, but do you mind if you come back tomorrow, but not at night, like at 1:30?
1:30 would be
Or you can come
4:30
back
your
at night,
time.
7 o'clock.
So it might be hard for me to get on tomorrow. Um, but I could definitely, keep in touch to let when I'm able to get on next. But it just might be hard to get on at 1:30 tomorrow. But I'll definitely, let you know if I
Okay,
can.
why don't you come at 7 o'clock, like this one, like tonight? But
7 o'clock
because I
is
want
our
you,
10.
oh yeah, it's your guys' 10.
Oh yeah.
Lucy and I have a show together. This show is Mr. Davis's show, that the attorney I work for, and he's been really busy in a high profile, attorney. I mean, trial. So he's been really busy with that. I've been Me and Stacey are taking over until he gets back. But I would like you to come back to talk more about what you know about this guy, like her ex. Like, who is he? Does he even have a relationship with his children? Did he ever have a relationship with his children? And let us know more about your sister. You know, what kind of mother she is, what kind of sister she is, and what would she do for her kids? What would she do for her family? Um, Stuff like that. You know, if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to come tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
I got it.
Because we're gonna have to, yeah. And then Stacey and I will do what we can, and she'll fill you in. I can't talk about what we're gonna do, everything, but we are gonna do stuff. Okay.
Sounds good, guys. Sounds good.
Thank you, Kevin, because I know that this is emotionally taxing and you've been through a lot today. And thanks for coming on with us. And I hope our exposure of the situation helps your family.
Yeah, definitely does. Thanks for having me. Thanks for all the people that went to court today. I appreciate it. I'm just really tired right now. So,
Yeah.
thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
I understand. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kevin, so much, baby, and I'm gonna be praying for you and your sister.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, I'll talk to you
Okay.
later.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, Kevin. He's so sweet. That's so
Very
sad.
sweet, Miss G. Very sweet. Very dedicated to his both his sisters. They work so nice together on trying to help Katie out.
There's a lot of parental termination, guys. I want to explain something to you. When they lessen your I'm sorry, when they lessen your visitation, meaning when they tell you that the visit is canceled or no visits today and blah 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 blah, that's just a step to terminate
Terminating.
reunification services. Mhm. So what they do is they take step by step, like as slow steps, to terminate your reunification services and tell the judge you never showed up or you canceled the visitations.
Are
So
you
that's why
trouble
documenting
anymore?
everything. Yeah, that's true. That's why it's important for you to document everything. And you guys need to stay calm. The problem when we're not calm, even though you want to break somebody's nose, the problem is we look like we're the crazy ones. But because they're so dark inside, they don't know what love is. Because when you love your children, you love them unconditional. There is no part-time love when it comes to our children. So therefore, they see that as weaknesses. That's why I tell you guys to be calm. You can cry all you want when you get your kids back, but meanwhile, be calm. It doesn't mean that you're a bad parent. It doesn't mean that you don't feel love for your kids. I'm talking about in front of these hyenas, you have to be calm. When you see a bear about to attack, what do they say? They say be still. What does God say? God says be still. So be still, damn it. Be still, right? Be still. Don't give them your attention. Stacey says that to me all the time. Miss G, don't give them free rent in your head. Don't give them free rent up here. And she's right. I was giving some people free rent. And that's why I love having her by my side because She encourages me when I'm down. And we're human. We all fall down short. We all of us. I'm no different. So, but you need that right person next to you to talk some sense into you. If you don't have that, then I suggest you do it by yourself and don't have any of them around you. But you need to be still, you need to be calm, you need to be sound minded. Because when you're not sound minded, God is not with you. God is not in the midst of darkness. God is not in the midst of confusion. God is not in the midst of chaos. And God is not in the midst of anger. And that's why you have to be still. Okay? Is there anything you want to close with, Stacy?
No, just I know a lot of people from our community are watching tonight, and regardless actually where anyone is from, I very much appreciate the support that I'm seeing from our community and the interest in following Katie's case. And I encourage people to keep following, keep watching, take a role in participation in our government and see in our courts, because Katie's case um, is outrageous, but unfortunately, it's not uncommon.
Katie's her case is not uncommon, but honestly, um,
It's outrageous.
it's beyond. I think we're past outrageous. I think it's worse than that.
Fair, fair.
It's worse than that because I've seen mothers being dragged out the courtroom. I've seen mothers being smashed, like literally. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I want to look at the judges and the sheriff and all these people with badges and all this crap. I want to ask them, if it was your mother, would you do that to her?
Probably,
If
Miss
it was
G.
yeah, to me, if you do that to another woman, then you do it to your own mother. So if it's done unto your mother and you don't care, then you have to be a very dark individual. I cannot pro- process what Kevin his sister is going through right now, and I cannot process what the kids are going through right now because the children need their mother. I don't care. The children need their mother. There's a certain part in the mom that is connected with the children unconditional, meaning her heart. That heart, when the children are not with her, that heart is completely broken. That's why there's a broken heart disease. If you really understand what it means, a broken heart disease, you're a physician assistant, so explain about the broken heart disease. You get
Takotsubo
it
is
from what? When the vessel, okay, go ahead. Uh-oh.
it's Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, and I think I said it right, but I'm not positive. But yeah, your coronary arteries can go into spasm from severe stress, and you can have a heart attack even though you don't have coronary artery
Yep,
disease.
there you go. And that's what happens to mothers when they strip their children away from them. And it is the most painful. I mean, I would see. How can I explain this to you? When my children are sick, I go to how can I say it? Like I take make sure they're fed, I make sure they're clothed, I make sure that they have the right stuff. I put Vicks everywhere on their chest, and I just make sure that they have soup, they have this, they have that. I would don't even do that for myself when I'm
Right.
sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because I really don't. Honest to God, I don't. So many times Stacy will be like, "Well, Miss G, you need, Miss G," and I'm like, I don't feel like it. But when it comes to our children, it's like we have this up energy all of a sudden, to do everything for them. And I told you guys the story with my dad. My dad on Mother's Day, as God is my witness, he would say, "Go wish your mother happy Father's Day." I mean, on Father's Day, he would tell me to go wish my mother happy Father's Day. He told me, she was there for you while I'm working all day, all night. She washes my clothes. She makes dinner. She cleans. She goes, takes you guys to school. She picks you up from school. She does homework with you. She does cleaning. She does, and the cycle repeats. My dad used to tell me all the time, that if I stay home and do what your mom did, I'll go crazy. I will just put you guys in the room and say, don't talk to me until the next day. That's how my dad, because a man is not built for all of this. A man is built to be the provider and the protector. The woman is built to take care of her family and to nourish her children and teach them and guide them. Maybe I'm old school in America. I get it, but that's how I was brought up. But Americans don't see that, you know? Our judicial system doesn't see that, but it used to be like that. America used to be like that. It used to be family. God, family. God, family. That's how America was. But then along the line, America changed. Why? Because we have people in office who are corrupt. And they're corrupt, like one after the next is worse. It's like you have bad, then you have worse, then you have like God knows what, the demon himself and the head of the demons too. So it's kind of like they're possessed by just demonic powers because nothing they do is for the good of the children. And honestly, that's all I have to say on that. And I don't know how I came up with all that, but I'm telling you, this is who they are. They are the head of the demons. And you're going to have to, we're just going to have to stick together and do what we can to expose what's going on right now. Stacey, oh, I love this guy. He says 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I want you to understand that Christ is the head of every man, and the man is the head of a woman, and God is the head of the Christ. That's right, baby. Yep. And I know some of my friends don't like me to say that. The man is the head of the household, but God didn't tell you to choose a deadbeat who's not close with him to be the head of the household either. So if you have a crazy one, in the that you chose to marry and have children with, how is he gonna be head of the family again? Think about it. God wanted us to make good choices, but unfortunately, nowadays there are none.
Miss G,
Yeah.
I appreciate all your time tonight. But you know how you said that you take care of children and forget about yourself?
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Miss G, you need your rest tonight and take care of yourself.
Are you? But I need to get rid of the pain. Okay. Just call me and let me know or text me what I should do. Okay. Or better yet, just write me a prescription. I'll tell you tomorrow what, write me something, please. I'll tell you tomorrow what antibiotic they gave me. I don't remember. But I am doing the raw garlic and the raw onions. Um, I eat raw garlic, raw onions, and I drink apple cider vinegar. And I was told that that should be an antibiotic replacement for antibiotic or something.
All right, Miss G, I'll text you, okay?
Oh, okay, you don't agree. Okay, okay, I get it now. All right.
All right, honey.
Bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Take care of yourself, Miss G. Love you.
I love you too.
Bye bye.